The incident during the elections at the university. Yes. It has been tracked down to him. There isn't a lot of evidence, but I have found some connections. On the morning of July 8th, the elections for local representatives at the university were held. During the peak of the activity, around midday, 7 fire extinguishers detonated as bombs simultaneously. Noise bombs. 27 people are permanently deaf. 89 have lost somewhere from 20 to 70% of their hearing ability. Nobody claimed responsibility for this, but you probably remember it. It was all over the news. Right-wing media used it to try to move stricter anti-terrorist laws and all. Richard wasn't officially charged with that attack. That much is true. Still, 2 explosions were reported by Richard's neighbors. 2 sellers reported that they sold him fire extinguishers. 3 tutorials to make noise bombs were found in his laptop. More importantly, notes about it were found in his journal. Mostly a long log of experiments, failed experiments, a learning curve, and yes, the success. But also notes on spells and rituals designed by himself for several purposes. First, to make it work. It. Since he never refers to any sort of attack, just the project. It was a luck spell. Second, for protection during the production. That was a ritual to ask the favor of a demon. It doesn't mention the demon's name. Third, for invisibility. That was also a ritual. But not for a demon. He summoned Nyarlathotep, according to his notes. I don't think I have to explain that Nyarlathotep is a fictional deity in Howard Lovecraft's short stories, mostly known as the Cthulhu mythos. The invisibility he wrote about wasn't literal. The purpose was to draw attention away from him. Fourth, a communication spell. Apparently just to make the attack national news. The general idea seems to be to draw attention to the results of his project. I wonder if he had a spell to turn water into ice. In that regard, it worked flawlessly. Fifth, a ritual for damage. To Lucifer himself. The bad guy amidst all bad guys. In so many stories. This kid was so edgy that I could break all the light bulbs in my house, and I wouldn't be half as dark as he was. In short, he asked for his project to hurt as much as possible. You would think the devil could do much more than that. Turns out he can't. Now, in all truth, this lead was indeed investigated by law enforcement. They did follow the lead, but it seems there was no evidence to put him in the university in the right time frame to make him a culprit. And then there's another thing. Other than the moment he bought the fire extinguishers, there is nothing that points at when these journal entries were written. One of my colleagues believes that he wrote it after the attack. And the more I dive into Richard's story, the more I believe he may be right. Not even one person out of more than 20 I've interviewed can point bravery as one of Richard's characteristics. The opposite, yes. It isn't as if anyone outright called him a coward, but putting 2 and 2 together isn't that hard. And reading his own writing about life, experiences, and himself, I think I may be qualified to be the one who says it. Richard was a coward. And that doesn't really mean he couldn't be responsible for the attack at the university. Oh, and one more thing. In the next incidents, those where his participation was proven, he really wasn't the leader, as the press has speculated over and over again. And yes, now I do have proof about it. For another story, tune in next Tuesday. Meanwhile, watch another video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check the description for our social media. and sleep well.
If you can.